Okay, recording in progress. Borbalá, welcome and thank you for being here with all of us today. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks. I'm very glad that you all took part in this 2 week intensive, and I hope you enjoyed all the exercises, what I gave you, and I hope I could answer all of your questions. But if you still would have some questions, then just shoot me now.
I hope that's not going to happen, but because we still have 1 week to go. After that, no, I just
After
kidding.
that, okay.
So I just posted today the second set of the second or the last or one of the vid. You made so many videos, Borbalá. That's
Yeah,
I'm so
like
happy for that.
always, too many videos.
It's fantastic. But I posted the second week assignments in the forum today. Let me see if I can show that to you with the display capture. So this is the, it's probably a little bit small for you guys now. Let me actually make my focus for everybody. So now you should be able to see me bigger. So this is the forum post, the forum for group 2, for example, and I have added the second week assignments in here. So you can find them in every post in here, and what Borbalá is asking for, and the video, and I posted the scores in here as well. So you should be able to find everything there. Borbalá, oh, I need to, how can I, okay. Borbalá, can you tell us a little bit about the second week assignments, just to kick things off and then inspire maybe questions for everybody?
So I thought that for the second week we could start to use these tools which we practiced already in the first week. But of course, there was not. It was not possible to give you too many exercises to work on. So I just kept on basic stuff, as you saw, volume and tempo and accentuation, also some articulations. But there are many different tools more which you could use to express yourself musically. So I thought for the second week we could have the idea to choose a piece. You can choose by yourself, you can choose your piece which you are practicing at the moment. That would be the best to figure out at least two different musical ways with different characters, and try to express them with these kind of tools which we were working on in the second week. And send me the videos, the beautiful videos. I am looking forward to see them.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for the introduction. And I think we should kick it off with all of your questions. I see that Hancock already has a question. Hancock, please unmute yourself, and then we can listen to the question that you have. And everybody, feel free to raise your hand. Or write, or if you don't want to appear in the video, you can also, or don't want to talk, you can also write the question in the chat, and then I will follow along with the chat as well. Just whatever you prefer. So, but now please, Hancock, what's your question?
Okay, fantastic 2-week intensifying little course here. For me, it kind of squeezes into time. I don't have time. My question is on the right hand staccato exercise. You talk about at the end of the measures there to hold back or put back one of the fingers, but I find that maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I find that real clumsy. I'm better off continuing the IM alternation or MI alternation all the way through. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or I'm misinterpreting as you told us how to do it. But I don't understand when you say you got to put that finger back and use it twice.
Okay. Yeah. I got your question. So the basic idea was always to stay with alternated strokes, right? So you always prepare with the next finger and you mute the string with the next finger, right? That's why when you are at the fourth note, the end of the measure, of course, you put back the same finger, because you have to cross the strings. The next string you reach with the M finger. I wanted you to reach with the M finger, but you could stay on the idea, let's put the next finger back, and you can change with the I. That is also possible. So if it's easier for you, you can take that possibility, of course.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you for the question. Fantastic follow-up. And now, Don, please answer your question.
Hey, Derek, Borbalá, thank you
Hello.
for all the feedbacks. Yeah. So actually, I got one question about the right hand, because you mentioned that my pinky is very tense. And yeah, so and you advised that I raise my wrist up, but I'm not sure which
Just
is
a bit.
up. Up is here, up is here, or up
Okay,
is no
okay, I show
extent
you.
here.
Just wait.
Yeah.
So I prepared the guitar as well because I was sure I will have to show you something. So your hand was a bit more backwards,
Yeah,
as I saw,
correct.
and that's why your wrist, look, that's why your wrist was a bit like this. And I meant to have it a bit like this.
Oh.
You see? So not
All
too
right.
much, but not too low. Just like this. It's almost
All right.
straight. So let's push your elbow a bit further and come closer to the strings, this direction, and then I think your wrist will be already in the good position. Show me, can I see you? How can
Oh,
I
wait,
see?
I will.
Yeah, thank you.
Here we are.
That is beautiful. Okay, just turn, yeah. That is much better. That is much better because your hand was like this and you couldn't
Yeah,
reach
it was.
And that's why when you are already stressed here, you see, you're stressed here, of course my pinky will be stressed as well. So just try to have this idea. I put my arm like this, relax your relax your hand, and then come to the strings. And this is the idea. Yeah? And then
Okay.
your wrist will be completely not straight, but a bit higher than straight. And that is the perfect position to be able to pluck easily, that you have the place.
Yeah, it feels unnatural right now, but I think you gotta give it some time to retrain it.
Yes, no problem. You do have still questions about that?
No, I think that's the only one, because I don't know what does it mean by it says
Yeah,
up.
of course, in written, I couldn't explain it to you.
Yeah,
so-
no worries. But thank you so much for all the feedback,
No
and
problem. You're welcome.
thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, like describing the dimensions of the guitar is always okay. Put your wrist up, like this,
Yeah.
or like this. It's all.
Power.
I have the same issue with my students, even when I'm sitting in front of them. You lift. You need to wrist your lift, but why should I lift my?
Yeah.
You know? always the same thing. Fantastic. But thanks for that follow up. Okay, Emma, what's your question? You're still muted.
I don't hear you.
We cannot hear you yet.
Not yet.
But maybe she's searching for the unmute.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There's like, I don't know on what device you are, but wait a second. Maybe can
Apple. It was
I
Apple, right?
bitte Ton zu okay. Maybe now it might work.
Now it is. Now,
Yes,
now it's,
perfect.
now
Perfect.
it's good.
Yeah.
In the same, hello, Borbalá. Thank you
Hi.
so much. In the same line, what you told about my position, that my elbow was too high, and
But
all
not
my
your right elbow. Not your right elbow. Sorry, I didn't write left elbow. Yeah. Because your elbow, look, you hold your arm like this the whole time. I wanted to ask you, don't you have problems here on your shoulders? Isn't it
I
painful
had a
for you?
tendinitis here. Yeah.
So that's why, because you are holding the whole time your left arm. So just try to relax it. Yes, try to use the gravity always. When you play here, it's better, but when you come to the first position, you always forget about it. You see, when we are shifting to the first, it's natural, but then you have to relax all the time. Yes, and try to climb from the fretboard. Yeah, this is the idea. You hold your fingers in this form, tight, and you are just hanging from the fretboard. And this increases already the power which you need for the pushing. Yeah, we are not pushing actually so much with the thumb. Yeah. Okay, so not the right one, the left one. Sorry, maybe I forgot to write it. Yeah. Tell me.
And the other question: when you do a deep vibrato and you have two fingers,
Yes.
how do you can do vibrato with both?
Yeah. You mean how I do the vibrato? What is the question? Sorry.
No, because I can manage a vibrato when I only have one finger.
Yeah,
I can more or less do it well. But if there are two, then
Yeah, this is again the idea. I have the weight to pull my elbow down. Yeah, put your both fingers, and then you just gently move both fingers. You try to hold them fixed. You try to hold them fixed, but these joints here and your wrist, everything is flexible. They are fixed, but this has to be flexible. So gently you are just, yes, that's it. That's it. Very nice. Very nice. So very gentle. It's not like, wow, doing like this. You could do also with your arm, but it's just a very bit. Yes, that's it. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
But actually, Emma, I just made half an hour before. I just made the vibrato exercise, not exactly exercise for Yoshi. I don't know how to
For
pronounce
Yoshi, yes.
her
Okay.
name. So I will upload it after this session, so you can also check that maybe to get the idea. But I'm speaking about the vibratos and about the different kind of vibratos, and I'm just putting one finger at the first time to understand the weight and the movement. And then of course in each piece we have different ways, so always try to experiment with it. Try to find a fixed position for the fingers which you need, and try to relax your arm, wrist, and these joints, but these are curved and fixed, the fingers. And then try to gently to experiment with it, faster, slower, or just a couple of or more, and then you get the idea which you want to use for this music. Yeah? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Fantastic, wonderful. I wanted, like first of all, true. Like when it's like one of these subtle movements that we don't necessarily observe when we are constantly practicing on our own, and a high elbow. It does cause, it can cause something up here.
Of
Absolutely,
course, of
absolutely
course.
important
Yeah.
to have figured something out. I wanted to ask that, do you have, like, when you have students, like, do you have an initial exercise for them to get into vibrato? Because like when my students first start to use vibrato, they have always issues like, but how do I do that? And then they do something like where they just do something like, what's the first step for you when you try to explain vibrato to somebody?
I would say it's very crucial what is with the thumb. If you are squeezing the neck with the thumb, it's impossible to do the vibrato. So first of all, you should try to make the vibrato also without the thumb. So that is always my first advice. Go to the fifth position, that is the more natural for our hands, and just basically try to get this idea. Hold, as I said now for Emma, to hold it tight, the fingers, because if they are just like this, you cannot use the fingers. So properly you have to have it fixed, but all the fingers, this gentle and flexibility you have to learn. So just step by step, first of all, one finger, and always concentrate also on the thumb, where the thumb has the place, because for each finger we have, actually the thumb should have a different place to be able to vibrate nicely or gently. So we start always with one tone, one finger, different tempos, different lengths. And then, of course, in pieces, you always have to concentrate on that extra, how to do it. So we always stay at that place and try to figure out what is the proper way to do it. So this, but I mean, I don't like exercises too much, because they have not always the best way. Of course, you will not use them probably not this way in a piece.
Yeah.
So I like exercises to make more pulled out from the piece, and to make an exercise for that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, next question before we go back to Emma again. But first we have Barney. Barney, what's your question?
Hi there.
Barney,
Okay, so
sorry, Barney, I made you the video also half an hour ago.
Oh, you
I
did?
will upload it. You will get it.
Okay,
But you
great.
can
I
ask
didn't,
me
I did
later.
not see it yet, but thank you. I have one comment and one question.
Yes.
the methods of expression that you've discussed, it seems to me that one of the messages is that we need to exaggerate many of these techniques because we as the player will not hear it the way the listener will.
Yes.
So is that one of the things that you're trying to get across to us?
Yes, you mean that we have to overdo everything? You mean that?
Overdo, yes.
Right, right. Just imagine a theater player, right? They are actors in the theater. I mean, not in the movie, but in the theater, they have to act like 3 times more, show everything, the mimic and all the things what they are doing. I mean, not theater we have to do with the guitar. Of course, there are many people who used to do it, but it's not necessary. I mean, musically, everything what you want to show, you have to show it 3 times more, that the listener will get the same idea what you want to show, of course. Yes.
Right. And I guess what occurs to me is that the best way to understand the effect is to listen back to your recording.
The observation.
If there's no audience that can give you feedback.
Yeah, that is the audience. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Now my second point, the question is the beautiful tone that you achieve with your free stroke. I'm not sure if that's the video that you've
That is the video you will
sent
get.
to me. Okay, so it's redundant. I guess it's redundant. I was
But
curious.
I can show you as well. Maybe the video was not so perfect. So
But
the
one of the
idea,
things I just wanted to comment about that is I've heard discussion from certain players that they achieve that fat round tone by touching the string from the top, from above. It may be one of the techniques that John Williams uses. It may be Bream. I don't recall exactly. But by approaching the string and touching it from above and depressing and releasing,
yeah,
it seems that in the free stroke, they can achieve a very close resemblance to their rest stroke. And I'm just curious because your tone is beautiful. And I
thank
see you using the free stroke
yeah, many times.
many times. I'm just
Yes.
wondering if, without taking too much time, what your approach is for
Yeah.
that.
So first of all, I always listen to myself. Always, while I am playing, I always have the idea to listen to what this tone should sound. Right. This is crucial. But I would say the position of the hand is also important. Also, of course, guitar is very important. Also the strings. So there are many different things which will have an attack on the good tone quality. But I would say the position of the hand is crucial. So if you pluck the strings like this and not like this, diagonal, you see, with the left side of your fingers, then I don't know if you hear the difference.
Of course.
On the same place, it has a very big difference. And of course, the nail shapes, everything has an effect on the tone quality. But this is very, very right that it's not equal if you want to pluck it like this, you pull it out, or you just want to push the strings into the guitar, because of course the vibration of the strings it will not be like this. When you're pulling out, it will be like this, but if you're pushing inside, then it will be roundy. But Martin could tell us many things about this because he knows these kind of acoustical ideas much better than me.
So are you pushing into the guitar?
I push the strings into the guitar, yes. So this is the basic idea. And if you listen to my free stroke and rest stroke, there is not so big difference.
Right.
Because all the time I try to increase this round the vibration of the strings. So maybe this is the idea of John
Yes.
Williams, which you told, but I'm not touching the strings before. I'm not planting mostly. Maybe they were also speaking of planting. Planting I use only a couple of times, but basically for nice legato, planting is not so ideal, I would say. So I always listen to myself and try to have this diagonal position, a good nail shape, not every day. We can have it, unfortunately. And also the place where you pluck, it's also crucial. So these all factors work together to have
So
the
that method of approaching the string, Martin, do you recall we had a guest giving a lesson about tone, and she spoke about what we're speaking to now, where she's grabbing it.
Yeah, that was
remember?
this Cuban lady,
Yes,
Ileana Matos. Ileana
Yes.
Matos. That's
Matos,
what.
yeah.
Yeah.
and she was
She's great.
grabbing it, but doing it in the same way that Borbalá was touching it. But in effect, I wonder if that's exactly the same thing. No preparation,
No.
but
Okay,
approaching
no
it
planting.
by grabbing.
I'm out of here.
Right?
Martin cannot understand anything, only planting. This is
Plant
planting.
all the way.
Forget the planting. It cuts off the sound. Do not do that.
No, almost never.
By the way, one last thing on this is that
You can tell me anything.
I hear the difference when I try to press into the guitar. But when you use it, when you're playing fast passages,
Not possible.
quite not possible.
Not possible.
So
Fast passages, no. I mean, you are listening to yourself, you try to have the position, the right position, but you cannot care about the tone. It's more for dolce, for slowlier passages, for sure. For faster tempo, you are taking care about the small movements, that you are able to move your fingers small and stay close to the
and
strings.
use rest stroke when possible if needed.
Yeah, with apoyando, also
Apoyando.
many people can play fast. Apoyando, I'm used to play more free strokes
Free stroke,
for
right.
fast passages, but we are very different, and we learn different things from our beginning.
Right,
and,
right.
Yeah, so.
Last
But we're
point as a follow-up to the previous question about vibrato. Quite difficult to get the sound of the vibrato in the lower positions.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, are we really hearing the effect of that pinky vibrato on the 5th fret? Or is it just psychological?
No, it's both. You are right a bit. It's different than when you go higher. So, but I would say if you have the right pressure, so you have to press it a bit more, Emma. You have to press it a bit more for the vibrato, because if you don't press it more with your fingers, then you cannot hear it. So it's actually pressing with the fingers, but not pressing with the thumb. So just be careful. Thumb shouldn't be there, and pressing more, so you can use the weight of your arm, and it will help you to make it more audible, clear. The pressure, the more pressure. Also at 5th fret. That place where which we checked with Emma.
Sorry, the last the
No,
last
you
thing.
can tell me
It
any
keeps
question.
it keeps
Not
generating
any questions, of course. Maybe some of them are
more
not.
thinking. I don't want to take up the other people's time, but
Yeah.
your whole idea of imagination, imagining these different moods, do you find that effect of the brain thinking that way translates into the hands and the approach very easily? Or is that something that in other words, you're in the mood for something happy or something sad, then your approach to the guitar and your thinking the way you're going to play it is just going to translate.
Yeah, actually, the idea is to get into this feeling, this motion. So
Yeah.
I would say we had in our life many things we experienced many different things. So also love and hate and anger and whatever. So all these emotions we know very well. So we can get the idea to transfer it into the music, to be able to express the lines of phrases, the music, and become more alive through that. So this is the basic idea. Always choose something. So I always used to have my story, but it's not story. It's just like I had very sad moment in my life, and if I imagine it before, and I can get into this mood, and then I start the piece, it will be completely different, because I'm already in this mood. And of course, all the musical tools I try to fit for that idea, and always experiment with many different kind of tools and use, and then listen to it back. This is the observation. Listen to yourself back. What is the effect? But of course, I'm listening also during the playing, but recording is better because you are not in the playing too much. And then I figure out, is it good for that feeling which I wanted to express or not? Okay, can I change it? Can I make it better or not? Blah. And then I try different things out, and then I fix everything. So all the ideas, what I play at the end, I figured out, and I made them, I formulate them, I fix them, and I practice it also into the piece. But to get into the mood, to be able to express these emotions, these deep feelings, of course, you have to imagine it, and the best way to get experiences from your life. So.
Right. And by the time you get on stage, you've already practiced it that way. So you
Yes.
don't have to reimagine it on stage because of the pressure, distractions, and everything else.
Of course. And you can switch it like this.
Like
of
that.
course, you close your eyes before you start a piece.
Right.
And then you
Right.
just try to, I always have, for example, for Bach Prelude 1007, I always imagine a snowy winter picture. I see the whole nice garden, full white, and it's so relaxed, and not even a bird is flying anywhere because it's so silent. And then I just try to start the piece, and then it's flowing from itself. It works so beautiful. And also, when you did it, I can tell you if you imagined something before or not, because there are so huge difference.
Right.
It's really beautiful. I love it.
I notice it, obviously, in your playing. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, Emma, you've already written your question or another question in the chat, but let us know, please.
No, that is the question. It's just a very short. I don't want to take anybody's time. In vibrato, the thumb touches the here, or is it free?
Depends on. You can also put your finger, your thumb, but you are not squeezing the neck. So don't push extra. So it's very, very gentle pushing. It's just like to having the position, the fixed position, but you are not pushing with it. But you could try also without your thumb to get the feeling of the freedom of the arm. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. I just wanted to follow up on the comment by Barney about overdoing things when we are presenting something. A month ago or something like that, we had a production with Misha Maisky for tone-based cello, which we are actually launching in spring. But we are going to sell the first courses already, so it will go live. Actually, I think today, which is why today is kind of a special day. But Misha was always talking about like how we need to overdo the expression that we do in music, because you always have to keep in mind, first of all, people of course might not be able to perceive what you are expressing at that moment, but then again they are listening to you and to the piece for the very first time. So you really need to show you need to show what you want to show, so that a fraction of the expression will come across of your
Yes.
performance,
That's
because
the
we
idea.
are, yes, we are so deep already into that interpretation that
Yeah.
for us it's crystal clear what we want to do. It's like a single touch, and we know what we want, what we want to say. But even discussing with my girlfriend, like I need to explain sometimes so much, because it's just the way communication works. And this is how we and overdoing in a musical context is like, of course, without becoming caricaturistic. And I think this is the fine line that we need to find when we talk about expression, that it still needs to be tasteful what we're doing, but we
Yes, of
really
course.
want to highlight what we want to do.
Of
And I
course.
think this is well, and I wanted to say that this might be different in the context of a recording, for example, now talking as a sound engineer, but it is actually not. I'm always telling my musicians, can you, okay, I think I get what you want to tell me, but please do it more.
Of course, that is the same, because some different people will listen to your recordings, so it's not like the same idea that they can have the same feeling what we have while we are playing. So we have to show it. Of course, they don't know the piece. Maybe probably they hear it, as you say, the first time. So
Yes.
we have to tell them everything very clear to be able to understand the bottom line.
Yes, and ultimately we want to be in a place where we play for people who have never heard the piece before,
Yes.
because that means we are reaching new audiences. You probably know this, Borbalá, when you play a guitar concert and you see the people who are sitting like that, these are the guitarists.
The police,
Who-
the guitar police.
Yes, the guitar police who know it better. Ultimately, you want to be able to play something like Lagrima, and they want to feel the tears running down when they listen to the piece. And this is, I think this is the goal. Do we have any more questions? I don't see any more risen hands. Oh, Kalin has a question. Kalin, please, your question, please.
Hi, Borbalá. Hi, hello, everyone. I do have a question. It's related with the piece which I'm playing, and actually in general with Bach. What about first, maybe two questions actually. What about staccato in Bach? For example, I'm playing now one of the Bure 996, and I think the recording I heard, people do play more legato the piece, right? I mean, it's like. But then inspired by what you told us that, hey, this is a dance. This should be maybe more, then probably should be more like, sorry.
I love this version better. But people mostly, they don't play this. They play like
Yeah, that was my question. Is it kind of forbidden in Bach to use, or because some people are very religious how you
there
should
is
play
not
Bach?
that kind of stuff. No, I mean, we can interpret pieces different way, and also different ways can exist next to each other. So that is not a problem. But for me, the bottom line is always what I want to express with it. This is a dance. So if I would like to dance on this, on legato, it would be very difficult, or it would be a different kind of dance. So you always have to consider what you want to express and which dance is it, or is it heavy, but this bure is a bit more heavy. So in legato, this bure could work, but maybe in portato, so not staccato, not with very short tones, but in between the portato I would use more to get this ta ta ti ta ta dum pa pa pi da da dum, as you played. Very nice. I loved it. So
I see. So yeah, because actually my question was, if I do staccato here, that's fine, but at the end is the, sorry. So last part, the coda here is more like legato.
Of course,
It will be hard to do it.
when you have this ornamentation, let's say that is already ornamented, then shorter tones give a melody out, so then you cannot play the staccato. No, it's just when it's static more. Tim pa pa pam pa pa pam pa pa pam. Then yes, but ti da da pa pi da da pa pa. It's not possible. It's not possible there. So you can leave it in legato. But if after when you finish the piece, you still have a couple of measures, and you put again the same articulation, then it's perfect, beautiful.
Work. Yeah, and the second question was also about vibrato in Bach, because
it's
for
forbidden.
example,
That is forbidden. But I'm still doing it. I try to hold myself back, but sometimes it's just not possible.
You know what Misha Maisky said about vibrato in Bach? He said he had 9 children, and imagine he did never played vibrato. No way. Of course he played vibrato.
however,
Didn't
however,
have the time for it, no? Yeah,
I would say. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say I wouldn't tell you, oh no, it's really no, you cannot do it. No, I mean sometimes it happens because emotionally you are so involved. For example, for a very slow one. But yeah, people say it's not nice for the Baroque. But I mean, I wouldn't care so much about it. No, if it's tasteful, because
Right.
because how they sang that time, it was not like whoa, not this vibrato, this back canto singing. They have also vibrato, but it's very tasteful and very small, like this. So if you use it, handle it tastefully on some places, I wouldn't say no. If it's nice, then it's
Right.
okay. But very small one and very tasteful one. Yeah.
And if you use maybe some agogic part where you elongate some notes to change
Depends on the place, on the piece. I would tell you, if you bring me some examples, I can tell you if it's okay. But mainly try not to use too much, because the vibrato is not the idea. That is more idea for the romantical period. So try to be more natural. But if it's natural, it's a very small vibrato, then I would say that can be good and nice and beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you for the advice. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Before we go to Barney, Viljo asked a question in the chat, and Barney also asked a question. Well, okay, but Barney will talk in a second. So we'll have Viljo first with a question about slurs in the bourrée.
The what? The bourrée?
In the bourrée, da da dum da da dum da.
Yeah.
Because I know ya ya bum. I know some people, for example, play the da ya bum in order not to have 2 quick alternating notes in the beginning. What do you have any opinions on slurring in the bourrée in particular?
Actually not. I mean, I always figure out slurs, ideas for each piece to make it again, always everything after what I want to do musically.
Yeah.
If I want to make one tone more accented and the second one less heavy, then I put a slur. It's possible, but it's not because what is about slurs in Bach music or in bourrées in general. So I don't think that we have such rules. I mean, we always have to listen to ourselves what we want to hear and what we want to express. And if you want to make the second tone as a solution or something, then I use the slurs. But it's not like in general.
Yeah, I think that's a general problem with guitar in particular, that slurs are always perceived as something purely technical, while
Yes.
it always has been a musical device. You know, especially because slurs or putting something under one bow, for example, we guitarists always tend, okay, I need to slur these 10 notes, but that's not necessarily meant by that. I don't have any particular like opinion on the slurs in the bourrée as well. Always like it should always follow the musical
Yes.
direction when we do that, and should never like a technical solution should never be stand against your musical idea. And I
Yes,
think that's
that is the basic idea. That is the basic idea. Of course, I will not put any slur to first beat,
yeah.
because then you lose the weight of the first beat.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So
Okay, wonderful. Barney, it's your time.
Yeah, vibrato seems to be a hot topic today.
yes.
So just one question about the movement. Is your wrist in your left hand moving freely like
Yeah.
this,
Not
or is
too
it
much. Not
or
too
is it
much.
stable in
No, it's
line with
moving.
the forearm?
Yeah, it's moving, but not too much. And it's again, it depends on which vibrato you want to play, because there is also finger vibrato. You can do also only with your finger. Of course, the wrist is also taking apart a bit. Or you make it with your wrist and with your finger. So it's not too much, not like this,
Right.
but gently. You just leave to, you concentrate on your finger and you just leave your wrist to go with. And also for your arms, it's also involved a bit. But for the arm idea, maybe it stay more fixed. So you can experiment with everything. The bottom line, to get comfortable with that feeling. And I
Right.
think what helps you not to squeeze the neck with the thumb, to have the weight, or you can also pull backwards your elbow. That works also. You can experiment with it. And that is the bottom line, to get comfortable. Yeah.
Right.
But first start with slowly one, gentle, and then try to make it faster.
Right. My wrist moves much more than my forearm when I'm doing it. I get a good effect on the second string in the high positions.
Yeah, better.
Not like Julian Bream yet, but okay. And I think that was it for now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have a question, because I'm not sure always. I just like to, maybe you have an idea about that. Like, where does the movement for the, because we've talked about the finger, we've talked about the wrist, we've talked about the forearm, where does the movement originate? Like, where, because for me, I always think that I don't think of actively moving my wrist, for example. It's just reacting to, I think, and maybe I'm absolutely off by that, but I think it originates way lower. Like it's originating there, but since you're fixed up here, like I'm using my
Yes.
head now as a guitar.
Yes.
This is kind of the movement that
Yes.
that's
Yes.
so stupid.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean, because like you, of course, there's the finger vibrato. I use that when I have for example a barred chord and then do it with a pinky or something like that. When I don't want to vibrate with the whole chord. But only with the top line, for example. But when it comes to the regular vibrato, I'm finding it hard to imagine where I would put
I would say there are two fixed points: your fingertip and here. If you have the weight here, and if you have your fingertips fixed, everything else is just like puppets, and it has to be like this, yeah? So very free, as you would dance or something. And really, this has to be fixed. And also, for me, worked very well when I concentrate on this weight.
I think that's it. I think it's the weight. It's not that this is fixed.
The weight, the weight.
But the direction of the force.
The weight. Yeah, the weight. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Not to have it fixed. No. Sorry. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Martin,
wonderful.
when we do the vibrato in rock music in the guitar, when I'm playing
when I'm playing
There's-
rock.
there-
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
With your Strat, for
Eric
example.
Clapton vibrato,
Yeah. The
plus
circle vibrator.
we're vibrating the skin vertically.
Yeah. That is the
And
other possibility.
I use that, try to do it tastefully in lower positions on inner strings in order to get the sound.
Yeah.
I saw Angel Romero do it, so
Yeah.
I figured if it's okay with Angel, it's okay for me. But Do you use that much in your playing? That other method,
No.
the vertical with the it's more of a finger,
Almost not at all. Almost
not at all.
For some, yeah, for some contemporary music, it's also written to use it. But I
Yeah.
mean, for the effect, I like more this sidely
Right, side to side.
swinging.
But
Yeah,
one important question that I never asked myself until like 1 or 2 years ago is like, it does make a difference if you start your vibrato going down or if you start it going up. It has, because it's either you start with yeah or yeah. It has a different expression, and this is something that I want you guys to dive a little bit into, because there's no right or wrong, of course, because it's always a different kind of a kind of expression. While with the electric guitar vibrato, when you do like, it has two differences. The first, it is always an active one. Oh well, that's not true. You have the vibrato where you are locking your this part of your finger on the neck, and then you turn it like that. So this is not actively moving in the finger, but you can do it if you do it more like a bending.
Yes.
So then it's a more of an active movement. And the other difference is it's not like, if this is your line, like this one here, then the classic vibrato goes like this, it goes up and goes down. While the electric guitar, let's call it electric guitar
That is like
vibrato for
this,
the,
yeah.
yes, it goes only up, because you're always bending the string upwards and not,
Yeah.
because you don't go into this direction. And this is the difference, which makes it sometimes hard to intonate when you want to do this, and also
Yes.
sometimes within the chord. But then again, sometimes it's your only choice that you have when you're locked in a certain position. But I want you guys to think about in which direction you are starting that, because I was always doing it. I never thought about it, so I might have done it in several ways, but I think I have always done it the same direction, which means I lost half of the possibilities on how to start my singing vibratos, which is a shame, I think.
And some of the players start the vibrato very slow and then speed it up. How do you do that? Does it really depend upon the music?
It's not always like that they start it slowly and then they yeah. So it depends on if you have many times a long note to vibrate on, then maybe this is the idea of this idea to get more roundy the vibrato. But you can do it only depends on. So sorry, what was your question?
My guitar won't last. The sound won't last that long on my guitar. May I ask what guitar you're using?
Yes, I have a Kim Lissara. That is a lattice guitar, Kim Lissara. I love it.
Wow, it sounds
I love
great.
the guitar.
Sounds
It's
great.
an Australian one. I bought it in Paris. Yeah,
Got it.
I love the guitar.
Did John Williams deliver it to you?
No, I bought it in Paris. Yeah, sure. I bought it in Paris. There is two guys, and they are busy with very loud guitars, and I was always suffering with my older guitar, not suffering. I mean, I did all the competitions with the Holzgruber, with an Austrian guitar of mine, and also has a beautiful sound, but the power which I wanted to give and I wanted to hear back, it was not inside. So I decided to buy a louder one. And then I found these two guys who are busy with these selling loud guitars for concert guitarists. And then I tried everything, Paco Marin, Smallman, I don't know, everything what was possible, Simon Marty. And for me, for my hands, for my technique, because it's also different always, this guitar was the best. And
wow, sounds amazing.
I love it still.
It's great. Thank you.
And I have played on many guitars, also at Sika's guitars, and always I return to the idea of my guitar. My guitar is really the best on the world. So I feel more comfortable with mine than any other guitars.
That's beautiful. Like it's like we tend to think, okay, let's get a new guitar so I can play better. Like somehow this never happened to me with guitars. It happens to me with with all the gear for recording, I need better microphones in order to gain better sound. So like I spend so much money, but for guitars, this never occurred to me because you have such a personal connection with that
Yes, and
tool.
if you find your guitar, I mean, someone told me when I wanted to buy a guitar, I had no idea where I will find it, but I tried so many different guitars in the past few years, and someone told me you will know right at the first second when you start to play on the guitar that is the right one for you, and I really knew it. It was amazing. It was really amazing. I didn't want to try any guitar more out, but of course I tried. Also, there are 20 guitars like this. But yeah, I mean,
Love of
first
first
moment.
sight.
Yeah, that was
Love
love
at
for the
first sight.
first
Yeah,
first
beautiful.
time.
Beautiful, beautiful. Before we go to Don's question, we had a question in the chat by Vilju, which I think is a interesting one. Do guitars sound better over time? What's your personal impression?
It depends on because people say that for spruce, it needs time to grow the sound and to open the sound for the spruce, and for the cedar not. But I would say all the guitars, they will change a bit. Also the cedar, I have cedar top, and also this guitar had some improvement. Yeah, so the sound become better with the time, and also, or maybe I just learned how to
Maybe
handle it.
Yes, maybe you developed there. I personally think there's a lot of romanticizing going on there with guitars because you
Yes.
think, oh, I have my guitars now for so long and it keeps getting better and better. But of course, that's an
Yeah.
experiment that you cannot
Yes.
really do with your own hands all the time.
Yeah.
But what I typically do when I haven't played my guitar for a long time, I call it I wake it up, which means I just play chords in every position, like pretty loud ones, just to get it into vibrational mode again, and then also have like creamy vibrato on the third string up on the fourth string, just to get the frequencies like to open it up for the way. But this is something that's I don't, because at one point I bought a guitar I was not happy with. It was quite early. It was quite expensive for me back then, and I was not very happy with. And I did all the treatment that I just said, and I kept telling myself that it already got much better. And then I did what you did. I tried another guitar, and it just
Yeah.
at
And
first
what kind
it
of
was.
guitar do you have now?
Now I have a Paco Marin. Yeah,
No, so I tried Paco Marin also. It was
yeah,
beautiful, but not for me.
yeah, yeah.
So we are different, and also our technique is so different. Our hands, our nails, and everything. So yeah, but
I
with
still don't think that.
with my guitar, to open the sound when I play a loud chord, you cannot speak with me during I am playing because it's really so loud. You need a speaker or a loudspeaker.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, we have two more questions for the last couple of minutes. So Don, you were the first one. What's your question?
Yeah, hi. Yeah. Sorry. Actually, I was just looking at the second assignment for next week. So I was just reading through. We have to choose one of either one of the piece that we're currently playing or one of our own piece and demonstrate two different variations. So the question is, for the variations, are we talking about the staccato variation, the amorous variation, and the legato variation?
Yeah.
Or no, can it be a mixture? Because just now you're mentioning, right, there are certain things that you cannot do in Bach music, or certain
Of
things that
course.
you are not supposed to do in certain type of music. So I'm not sure,
Of course. So no. Wait.
Yeah.
So it's not like let's play it only on staccato and let's play it only on legato. No, this is not the idea. The idea to get good character, of course. So you can take your piece. It can be also Bach, but Bach and the different dances, let's say in a suite, has different character. And try to figure out which character, which mood, or which feeling, which emotions you can fit to that music, what you are playing. So amorous is, for example, one. Or a chord dance, but chord dance is not a feeling. Let's say if it's a sad one, or if it's a disappointed one, or if it's a I don't know, deathly deep sadness. So there are many different ideas, and try to fit all the ideas, staccato, legato, and all these articulations or volume. But of course, for a sad one, you will probably not use many staccatos. So you try to fit the musical tools to express that character which you formulated. Yeah. So try to formulate, play your piece, or take a phrase. Let's say take a phrase or a period, yeah, one nice phrase, and play it many times and try to figure out which feeling it shows you or gives you, yeah. And when you can formulate it, then try to put all these volume differences. Also, maybe use vibrato or use glissando or whatever, to express that emotion which you formulated. So that is the idea. But of course, the pieces, normally one piece has one kind of direction of feeling. So if it's sad, of course you will not put a very happy day feeling for that piece. So this idea.
Yeah, I got it. Actually, it's quite interesting because I was listening to Debussy Clair de Lune. Recently, I found a piano roll of him, Debussy actually playing it. So it was very quick. But I listened to recent pianists playing it, right? It's slower. So it's still sad. It's still, full of love. But no, when Debussy plays it, it's like a young love, right? It's very quick. And when the older people that play it, is still love, but it's just more romantic, more steady and
but
slower.
it's still, I mean, it still
Yeah,
can
it's still
happen.
love,
It
right?
can be, it can exist next to each other. As I said also in the second week video, that for example, the Oramus from Tárrega, you know the Oramus, probably the prelude from Tárrega, and it's not written by Tárrega, and nobody knows it. It's originally Schumann's piece. The second part, the B part of the Fantasy Dance 124 from Schumann. And it was originally thought for a very fast tempo. In triolas, but anyway, the same, exactly the same. And as guitarists, of course, we play it because it's written, it's religious and lento religious or something like that, in a very, very slowly tempo. And still, they both can exist on the world because this is music, and how music can be so colorful. So if you can express it, that is the idea, that what you have to do for the second week, to pass the musical tools to your musical idea of the piece, and try at least two different one, but they don't have to be the opposite, of course. You can stay in one direction, but with differences.
Thank you. Got it.
You're
Understood.
welcome.
Wonderful. And last question that I see for now and for today is by Emma. Emma, what's your question?
I am sorry to keep asking questions. It's because the advice you gave me, I think, is going to be so important for me. But I have a question. When there are two positions more or less for left hand, when it is, I think that this is called longitudinal in Espanol, I don't know in English. But when there are two fingers in the same, or you have to lift the elbow, right?
Yeah,
You
but
cannot.
yes, you have to open. Yeah, but as you see, this position, right?
Yeah, for
This
example.
and this.
Yeah.
You can play it like this to open your palm here, but you can also play it like this. Who tells you that your finger cannot be a bit straighter? If it's not disturbing the higher string, then it's possible. So I always try to find the comfortable way for my elbow. And for this position, I would never play like this. I would never open my palm. Mostly I never try to open my palm. I try to stay always parallel as I can, because then you can find everything, it's very close. And if you are like this, and look, your fourth finger you cannot put anywhere because you are so far from the fretboard. So this is the main idea, to always stay there at the fret. And with this, and it's not so comfortable for you, so try to experiment with it always, to find your elbow and your hand comfortable. Yeah, I know this idea, but I think about it differently. Like for me, the comfortability is the most important thing, because we have to play long, we have to practice long, and I will not care that someone told to open the palm. Okay, so
Yeah, okay, I will change. Thank you so
you
much.
don't have to. You don't have to. You change
Yeah,
only
yeah, but
if
I
you
think
feel comfortable.
I had problems in my.
Yes, that's why, I also got problems a couple of years ago. So I tried to focus, what is the problem? Okay, okay, so this is the problem. And then I started to change it. And now it's beautiful. So you have to always just pay attention on your body as well, what it tells you. If something is uncomfortable and painful, that is not normal. Then you have some problem somewhere, and try to figure out where can be the problem. Also, the squeezing of the neck gives you many problems. Also, if you put your shoulder a bit more like this, it can be also increased. So the bottom line, I would say, always try to sit straight. Try to find your middle point here, to be flexible. Yeah? And try to have also your right hand as straight as you can, not like this, not like this. To be natural, not too like this, not too like this. So everything what is comfortable for your arm. And for left hand, as you see, for 2 seconds it's comfortable, but after 2 seconds you feel, oh, no way. So you just leave your elbow and use the gravity. And sometimes, of course, you change shifting and this kind of stuff, but don't forget to relax afterwards and come to the relaxed position. Yeah? Just pay attention on your body, always.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, wonderful. Very, very last question by Barney. Barney.
Hi again.
Hi.
This is a question that's coming from a serious amateur guitarist who's not professionally trained, who didn't train with a high-level concert artist like yourself. In setting goals for students that have that type of experience, let's say with some advanced technique, but does not have the artistry characteristics at a certain stage. What type of goal can be achieved, in your opinion, by someone like that, who does not have professional conservatory training, who's not making it a lifetime career, but who loves the guitar, who likes to play music, and likes to engage with people like yourself to get ideas and training? What could we expect? What can we achieve really for ourselves, in your opinion?
Yeah, so the bottom line, as I always say, it shouldn't be to get better technique. So if you are not professional, of course, we have to care about the technique, but you shouldn't suffer about the technique, only about the technique. You always have to have the goal, what I want to express. I want to express music. I want to express emotions. I want to live these emotions through playing the pieces, right? Because this is the beauty of your music. I want to enjoy the beauty of your music. So that should be your very, very first goal, always to enjoy the music. And everything else serves only that. All the technical stuff, everything. Yeah, so just enjoy the music and choose pieces which you can achieve, which is your level or just a bit above your level, which is motivation for you. You can find motivation. Try to have a good mirror person to help you out with the problems. That is normally a teacher or some advisor, to get through the problems, to be able to play the pieces and to enjoy the music. Because the bottom line is always the music. Enjoy the music and the guitar, I would say.
Right. I had a feeling you would say that.
Yeah, for sure. Why did you
Thank
ask
you.
me?
Thank you for the confirmation.
There is a quote that I love. It's I believe yeah, the famous cellist Pablo Casalas at 83 was asked why he continues to practice 5 hours a day, and Casalas said, "Well, because I feel like I'm making progress."
Yeah, nice.
Exactly. Wonderful. So everybody, thank you so much for participating in today's Zoom check-in for this 2-week intensive course. Borbalá, thank you so much for taking the
Thank you.
time.
Thank
This
you
was
to take
amazing.
part. Thank you to take part. I enjoy it a lot to work with you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I will upload this recording to the forums. It might take a while because it needs to be like, you know, the video needs to be transcoded and stuff, you know, technical blah blah blah. But I will do it.
Technical blah blah blah.
The
Oh,
blah,
wait.
the kind of blah I love, as you know.
Yeah,
But
I know. I know.
thank you everybody. Have a nice Sunday wherever you are, and thank you Borbalá for being here for our participants, for our members, and being so very helpful. Thank you so much. Okay, guys,
Bye.
everybody,
Bye
take
bye.
care.